What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic coming to you with another edition of PGA Tour DraftKings Reignmakers. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. Look at me. I can self-produce. It's fun. I am starting here on the drop screen. And why is that? FedEx Cup playoff pack. Let's go. This is going to be dropping in very short time period. Yeah, 2 p.m. my time, so 5 p.m. Eastern time. Preferred access if you've got some of those lovely season passes, those league passes. You want to have those. Those are good things. Got them in UFC too. But you want to check this out for the PGA Tour stuff because 6 rare cards are going to be incoming for you from this tier. There's also 1 rare, an elite, a legendary, or a Rainmaker card. And a 1.3% chance of a Rainmaker card, that's as good as you're going to find in any pack ever. It is a huge deal. And hey, if you're new to the PGA Tour streets, jump down, get your free pack below. But this is going to be a great opportunity to keep the PGA Tour cards rocking into this FedEx Cup playoff. And yeah, I'm sure Rainmakers cards, they might not be as expensive because the utility, you're going to have a shorter amount of time for them. But I'm telling you, you sell those on the secondary market, you make yourself a couple of ridiculous rare card type lineups. And in that spirit, today, I normally do the core contest and I normally cover my single entry and my large field GPP there. I'm going to do it in the rare contest this week. Yeah, you heard me. I'm building out my rare single entry contest. We're going to talk through some of my favorite targets there for rare cards and then kind of how you should go about building your lineups. You always want to have your most expensive core player. You only play one core player amongst your 5 cards. But you're going to want your most expensive core player. I'm going to talk to you about my favorite target for those purposes. But very much looking forward to Sedgefield Country Club here. We've got the Wyndham Championship. Going to be lovely, lovely stuff here. But check out this FedEx Cup playoff pack. Again, great, great stuff. So take a look. It's in our book, Reading Rainbow. That actually doesn't apply at all. Let's go to the lobby, shall we? This is where we begin our journey. And yes, UFC, they've got a nice fight night going here. What is it? Font and Sandhagen. That's going to be a really fun one to watch. Really, really fun. But as I said before, we're heading to the single entry in the rare contest where there's going to be a lot fewer cards in utilization. And who do I want to start with in the captain spot here for this week? Now, some of these cards are not all that expensive. If you look at just the rare cards, your most expensive guy, $23. Sung J.M. and then Hideki is sitting right around, where is he? Is he this far down the way? Is he this far down the way? Where's Hideki? Where's my guy at? $23. Okay, I was going to say they got to be identical numbers. So just throwing it out there. I want to build this out for the rare contest because I've never covered this one here on this program. We are going to be building 4 rare cards with 1 core. That's what is required here. You can look at the rules and prizes for it. Payout structure, really nice payout structure, $1,500, $1,250. You don't want to gut punch yourself for getting second the same way you would other contests from time to time. But I really like to focus on single entry for my PGA Tour and for my NFL, where there's an entire year of utility. And they just added it to UFC. I'm trying to decide what I want to do for the single entry cards there. I feel like might be playing the weaker cards. I think that's the way most people treat it. But with UFC, you might get a fighter card for 2 fights in an entire year for your takedown cards for some of those other ones. For PGA Tour, you're getting a lot of uses out of it. But that also means that there's a lot more difficult to get to those top prizes because there's more people playing week in, week out on the PGA Tour streets. The fighters, for UFC, going to be difficult to carry that over. Long conversation. But let's start building lineups because that's the fun part. My captain this week is none other than Sam Burns. It's about time we got my guy back on Bermuda grass. He played pretty well at the Memorial. He's had himself some glimpses. Went over to Scotland, shot top 20 there at the Scottish Genesis, followed it up with a MC Hammer. Thanks, bro. MC Hammer there at the old Open Championship. It was carnage for a lot of people, but we're back on his preferred surface, Bermuda. His win equity is through the roof, and in fact, I'm shocked by this, but Sam Burns, our number 1 projected golfer for PGA Tour Reignmakers, you can check that out over at Stochastic for free. I don't pull them up here on this program simply because I want you to check those out. I need you to check those out. Actually, what's weird is I don't have my golf background, but I guess I have a black shirt on, and black is the theme. It's the color of your energy. I know that's amber, but Sam Burns, he is going to be my first click in. Got him at a prize pack. Let's go. It's beautiful. Nice to be able to finally play him. And because we're on the conversation, I talked about using your most expensive card as the core card. And why do I explain it that way? Well, because you could just sell the expensive card, assuming that there's, the 10% that DraftKings takes out for the transaction. But assuming most of the time, your most expensive golfer being the core one, you want it in the smaller rarity tier because you could sell the rare card. And if you're not going to utilize it in that main event there or in that main lineup, why wouldn't you just go to the next tier? And that's where Hideki Matsuyama, $6.98. He's going to be the most expensive golfer in any tier that I put into this lineup. Again, we are looking at a very weak field here at Sedgefield. You get some of these top tier players. You get a Sungjae Im, you get Hideki Matsuyama. These guys are trying to make this push for the FedEx Cup playoffs. Adam Scott sitting on the fringe of it as well. Very, very fascinating stuff. And so Hideki, we're starting to see some decent form out of him. He faded there after the 64 in Minnesota. He's playing here because, again, huge financial incentives. And he was injured and had some time to make up here. But I know he's finished outside of the top 10 in pretty much every event since what? Oh my God, it's wild. Since the beginning of March. But it's still Hideki Matsuyama in this type of a field. I think you click it, tick it, fire it up. Hideki Matsuyama, you know what that upside is. So he's going to be the expensive player. I'm going to be fading Sungjae Im in Reignmakers this week. Best of luck to me. That could end up going poorly. But as you look down the line, again, you have no top 10s from him since beginning of May. That's a wild streak of golf here. Maybe you should take a week off here and there from time to time. Be a good idea. Be healthy. Anyway, Denny McCarthy is my next click in. I thought about making him a captain option. He's been playing the best golf out of probably anybody that I'm going to be putting into this lineup. If you throw out his result there at the Open Championship where he shot 1,000,000, again, get on slow greens, that's not going to go well. T6, T7, second, T20. And it's all with the putter, my friends. The guy, let me just go through some of his strokes gained data for the putter because it's nifty. He's number one in this field in putting. He's going to be number one in every putting. He's actually number one in DraftKings scoring over his last 50 rounds as well. But gained 6.1 at the John Deere, 5.3 at the Travelers, 11.3 at the second place Memorial, 20th at the U.S. Open, 3.2 he gained there. He has not lost with the putter since the Valspar, where he finished top 20 still, because the iron play can spike 3.7, 3.1. Those are really good things to be seeing out of Denny McCarthy. So, yeah, I've had this card for a while. I've been playing him a lot. Denny McCarthy kind of been the nonstop presence in my rare lineups week in, week out. But I got to play my boy Burns. Mr. Burns. Going to be beautiful. Now, Siwoo Kim, I don't have for Reignmakers in the rare tier. I thought about buying him again, but now sitting around 1550, I think I might have missed the boat on being able to jump in. And that's where Eric Cole is going to be my next click in. Sitting right there at $11.11. I bought it for a little bit cheaper, I'm pretty sure. But either way, Eric Cole, he's third in DraftKings scoring amongst this field. And I expect him to be uber popular in classic contests because of his price. But if you're not playing DraftKings Classic, which you should obviously be playing as well, but I think he makes a better play in Reignmakers than he does over there, mainly because there's no salary constraints. People play Hideki, and they'll be playing the Shane Lowrys possibly, even though I will say his core and rare discrepancies are pretty interesting to me. This actually came down a little bit because it was sitting around $10 earlier when I was covering this, but definitely feel good about Eric Cole and the state of his golf game. Look at this. Not missing cuts. Missed one cut. Missed two cut. How about a T5? How about that second? He's been playing some of the best golf of anybody in this field over the course of this season. That's a wild thing to say because I didn't know who he was until the Honda. Yeah, the Honda. Him and Chris Kirk battled it out. Second place there for him. Now, we need one more of these guys. Adam Hadwin, I think I'm going to be using a lot in core contests. As you can see, I've kind of stockpiled a little bit of him. Got two of those. I had him in a starter, but I bought two more that are going to be added to the fray there. I'm going to be utilizing him with some Aaron Rye. Yeah, I like my whiskey rye. You know that. But I'm trying to decide on my last man in, and I'm torn between two people, and I'm curious who you think I'm going to go with or what I should do. Bo Hostler would be the first one. This feels a little bit chasey. Comes off of the T13, T6. Yeah, look at that. Open Championship golfer. Pretty good stuff. Yeah, so he ends up playing the Genesis Scottish, goes back 27th. Yeah, this last weekend. Looks pretty good there in the old Minneapolis, wouldn't you say? Sorry, yeah, this T6, this was definitely not the Open Championship. This was definitely him at the Barracuda. Wanted to make sure I caught myself there. But see, the 27th here. Yeah, this is your last week's results. Nice little 62 to really bolster it here. He fits the mold of these immaculate putters, but he's on Bermuda, and I know that he ended up going to Texas to school, but he's a Southern California kid, true and true. That can play similar to Kikuya to a certain extent, but I'm torn between him, and that's where, again, I'm trying to decide. JT Poston, I think, is going to be the guy that I want to be firing it up. You can see all my rare cards here. I have some Gim that didn't show up last week. Thanks for coming. Drive home safely. Martin Laird. Doesn't feel as weird of a click here this week. Gary Woodland, I've had forever, and yeah, he makes me sad. But Sam Burns going to be the captain. I'm torn between Bo Hostler, not Garrett Kago. We'll talk about him in the large field GPP, and then JT Poston. I think I'm going to end up going with Poston just for, I mean, we saw him get the T2 last week. And overall, Bermuda grass has won this golf tournament before, has the familiarity with Sedgefield. I mean, DraftKings scoring wise, the 4 sub 70 rounds, that's a useful little thing to get into your mix. T6. I mean, John Deere playing well at Detroit, played well everywhere here lately. So JT Poston, wait a minute, Mr. Postman, you're actually making cuts again. That's great to know. Glad I kept your rare card. So yeah, got him in a prize pack. JT Poston, happy to be firing him up. I think this is a pretty good single entry team. And Bo Hostler, obviously, when we go over here and I talk about my expensive buy, my mid-range buy, check my location. One-time dealer. There we go. It works. All right. Let's go to the large field tournament. So we built out my single entry team. Feel pretty confident about that one. And now we go 2K to first here. We're building this out. Again, nice to be doing the rare contest here on this program, mainly because I think there are some really good buys this week that have utility big time for this week, and then heading to the FedEx Cup playoffs. And that's what I really want to focus on, why I want to be purchasing certain guys, why certain players are better plays this week to fire up now before you get them there. Eric Cole, tons of utility. You know what? Let's actually start there. Bo Hostler, again, these are going to be some really interesting things here, but Bo Hostler, I'm going to click on him now. Denny McCarthy, another great ad here. Again, I could see Siwoo Kim being a decent play amongst the cards that I have. Eric Cole could be added, but I'm going to save him for a core contest that I'm going to be playing in. Justin Thomas, you break my heart. $3.35. If you're getting that free pack below, do not start your packs off with Justin Thomas. Name recognition aside, he's been playing like dog doo-doo. It makes my heart sad. But anyway, shout out to our real one there. I could go Sam Burns. Again, get to keep him for some core contest goodness. But Will Gordon going to be added to this one. And I think he's kind of an interesting play, mainly because we don't see him play in a lot of elite events. And, well, last week was a disaster, the 3M. He's been playing some lukewarm, interesting golf. Actually, you know what? Let's get Will Gordon out of there because that sounds terrible. Gary Woodland, 77 cents for Gary Woodland. He's going to play some golf tournaments in the fall swing, and there's going to be some tournaments where he's one of the better players in it, similar to this one. Again, $37.99 for an elite, $3 for a rare. $3 for a rare. That's a pretty wild number for Gary Woodland. He's had some decent results over the course of this season, too. Not like you would expect for a U.S. Open champion at Pebble Beach Golf Links, but just saying. And that's where I'm heading this weekend. I'm very excited. That's why I'm doing this video on Tuesday. But looking at the miscut last week, such is life. Some decent enough results where you're getting into that top 20, top 15 type range. There's not a ton of name recognition in this field. Yeah, my guy Sam Burns, I love. Adam Scott, Sung J M, Hideki. but you're not getting the core guys. These are all players that are trying to play themselves into the FedEx Cup playoffs, to the top 70, to guys of that nature. And that's where I think Eric Cole, I know we already added him in the rare contest there. So I just want to reiterate that I think he is a phenomenal buy for this week. And this week, you want to be getting in there now. $11.11 here. This is too good to be passing up, mainly because you want to be factoring in FedEx Cup standings. You're going to be playing down to the top 30, friends. If he has a decent result here, him, Denny McCarthy, who's sitting at 25th, but he's a little bit more expensive. Eric Cole is sitting at 40th. He's going to be in that first event, but if he plays well there as well, he can play himself into the top 30 for the Tour Championship. But top 70 is the cutoff this season. Top 70. Then it goes to top 50 at the BMW Championship, which, again, hopefully you guys were able to capitalize and somebody was able to win that lovely tournament that they had. I unfortunately was not, so I will not be going to the BMW Championship this season, which sucks. But Eric Cole, $11.11. He is my mid-range play that you need to be buying. Denny McCarthy, once again. Oh, yeah, he's in the lineup. That's why. That he's my expensive buy for the week. In quotes, because he's not as expensive as some of the other players that we've seen of late. $20, though. I know that sounds steep, but I repeat, he is sitting in that spot where you really want to be pushing towards that top 30 kind of number. He is inside of the top 30 at 25th. Him, Taylor Moore is at 27th, which is wild. And I think that's why he is going to be my last featured guy. So we got Eric Cole in the mid-range. We got Denny McCarthy here. And the last one, Taylor Moore. They forgot about Dre. I'm just saying. And I got Ben Taylor too here as a card. But $7.45 in the rare, dollar in the core. He's already in the top 30. It's going to be so difficult him playing this week to not at least get himself into a spot where he's going to be in the top 70. And then, in the top 50. And then he can play himself into a top 30. A decent result here could almost solidify himself in that top 25. There's a lot of players that aren't quite there. And yeah, Sam Burns is there. My dude Sepp Straka, who's not playing this week, is there. You got a number of these guys, and that's where a lot of players this week are either trying to get recognition for Ryder Cup, that'd be Justin Thomas, or are trying to play themselves into this FedEx Cup money because it is gigantic money if you're able to make it and convert it. So Taylor Moore, a phenomenal buy, I think sub $8 if you're looking to really punt it. I go my Higo. I have his rare as well. I think this, you could do a lot worse than firing up Garrick Higo coming off of some really good results. Again, got that top or all sub 70 bonus. Huge DraftKings performance from him with 2 eagles in addition to the sub 70 bonus that you got by having all of his round sub 70 on DraftKings for that 3M championship. But some really good form, 4 consecutive made cuts, 4 consecutive top 35s, 3 of those inside the top 21 and back-to-back top 20s. Garrick Higo, go ahead. Get down with your bad self. What is his prices? Just want to finish that out for the people. Here we are. $4.50. Yeah, that's a cheapie. Yeah, we're going to have to be getting some more of that. Give me all of that you got in a bag of potato chips. So Garrick Higo seems like it's an outside play, but I'm okay with it. I'm going to put Higgs in there for shits and giggles just to round out this. So I'll submit this lineup for the time being. Probably going to revamp that one, but the single entry, feeling pretty good about that. And then, of course, I've got my UFC stuff I was screwing around with. So we go over to the PGA Tour. Here we are. Here is your DraftKings Reignmakers for the week. Feeling really good about all of the selections on here, except for Higgs. He's just a throw in. But Cole, really nice buy. McCarthy on the expensive end at $20. Really set up for a nice FedEx Cup run, which I really want to be focused on. And then the fall swing. That'll be a Gary Woodland type buy. I think there's a number of great opportunities to jump in on DraftKings Reignmakers this week. And don't forget that drop. Oh, it's going to let the beat drop. Ba-dum-ba-dum-bump. Look at it. FedEx Cup playoff pack. Go ahead and get yourself access to that. Again, 6 guaranteed rare cards, along with the opportunity, the best opportunity you'll get in just about any pack that I've ever seen, at a 1.2% chance to get a Rainmaker card. A little bit worse, or a little bit better for a legendary. A lot better there getting to that elite pack. So, or getting to that elite card, excuse me. So great stuff. by them for the FedEx Cup playoff packs. Can I get some Scotty Scheffler in my life? Can we get some Scotty Scheffler in my life? That would be awesome. Preferred access open now. I'll get mine here in a little bit. It'll be great. All right, friends. I'll be back next week, per usual, talking DraftKings Reignmakers PGA Tour. Until then, best of luck. Oh, I should say my name. I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck at the Wyndham this weekend. Wyndham this weekend.